Hello there everybody, welcome back to another MapleStory related video where we take a look at the MapleStory subreddit over the last week because it's Microwave Monday. I gotta stop, man. I'm the only one who finds that funny, but that's okay. I'm here for me just as much as I'm here for you guys. But we're going to be taking a look at the MapleStory subreddit over the last week and we're going to see what's been popping. I have a big idea of what's been popping. And I think it's going to be related to the new class. Yes, Sia Astelle. Let's pop open this thread. Yeah. Let's pop open this thread, and then let's pop open the video. Let's mute the video so it doesn't blow my ears out. And if you guys, for some reason, haven't seen this, this is a pretty cool, like, animated... I don't want to say in-game asset video, but it's like an animated in-game asset video. Because it kind of is. Like, it's not, but it is, you know what I mean? It's very reminiscent of, like, the very old animations for MapleStory that people used to make back in the day. Think, like, Maple Combat type stuff. But obviously I'm not going to go through all of this, but Sia Astelle is apparently a class that was in the game, not in the game, our game, but in MapleStory M, which is the mobile version of the MapleStory franchise, one of their flagship mobile games. And this is apparently a class within that, and from what I understand, it is a support within MapleStory M. And we're going to be getting it this summer. Voice crack, he always keeps you youthful, that's what I always say. But basically, where does it say? Where does it say? Where does it say? Where does it say? I mean, I guess we can look at the skills, because these are pretty fucking cool. I think this class thematically looks very, very cool. This class is like a constellation slash, like, star class. It's very cool. Thematically, at least to me. It tickles my fancy, if you will. And then this is the origin, I believe. Which I think looks really sick. But... Sia Astelle, is this where they show it? Yes, June 11th. Probably gonna make this class, honestly. I think it might be one of my boss mules, especially if it gets like a hyperburn. Because I still need a few boss mules to cap up my crystals every week. And thematically, this class looks very, very cool. It's supposedly a mage, a support mage in MapleStory M, so will it translate into being that for GMS? Who really knows, honestly? We don't really know much aside from what the class is in MapleStory M. MapleStory M is very different from the actual game MapleStory, though, so you can't really consider things that MapleStory M does and just assume that's what, like, it's going to be like in GMS. Things like link skill, for example, things like how the class plays, i.e. support, stuff like that. We don't really know, but we will know very soon, considering it comes out on June 11th. Something else I did want to point out is this system that they show here, the Erda Link system. They very, very slightly tease it. And let me full screen this to make it a little bit clearer to see. So what do we got here? The Erda Link system. So, from what we can see, we can't see a lot, okay? But what we can see is a couple different things. It's a sort of skill tree that I've seen people say reminiscent of like a Path of Exile skill tree, which is not too far off. Definitely looks similar in that there's a lot of different things you can select. And we see there's a couple different things going on here. It seems like you have 6 shine stones, whatever shine stones are. And you have to activate each of these stones with fragments, Soul Erda fragments specifically. We can assume that it also costs Soul Erda energy because it shows your Soul Erda energy up here. Whether that be to level up these individual nodes or activate these nodes, it's unclear, right? We don't really know, and we won't know until this comes out. But a lot of people are theorizing or postulating that this is going to be some sort of system that MapleStory M has a similar-ish system, and it just kind of ends up being like another Legion artifact, or an artifact system. Which I don't hate entirely. And here's a couple different things that we can see from it, right? We see an int node, we see a meso up node, we see whatever this is, normal enemy damage perhaps. We see a damage node possibly over here. We see what could be a boss like damage node here. We see an all percent node here, which we can, I mean, I would assume that to be all stat percent. No fucking idea what this is. This appears to be a luck node. And then this is, what is this? Kinda looks like it says C-Dam, crit damage. And then a little shield break icon there. Looks kind of like an IED thing. So, it seems like this is going to be a system that gives you more stats. But not just stats, since it also has things like Meso Up, which we can assume to be Meso Obtained. My immediate hesitation is the fact that this costs fragments, right? And fragments are still quite hard to get, especially for the majority of people who don't play MapleStory a lot, right? The more casual players. And eventually, fragments, I think, will be given out similarly to how node stones are given out. Just like as 6 job progresses, they will become less and less limited over time. But that's just my initial worry. Because even someone like me, I grind a shit ton. And I have been grinding quite a bit. I'm only just barely maxing out my Hexamatrix right now. And obviously with Mastery 3 and 4 coming, I won't be max anymore. But I will be able to max again shortly thereafter. And then this is like another system that uses fragments as a sink. Obviously, I am wholly welcoming of the additional stats and like Meso Obtained and whatever else it may have. I just hope that this system is cost efficient to start, and maybe it just is very cost prohibitive to max it out. Alternatively, I do hope that, or maybe not even alternatively, in addition, I do hope that this is an account-wide thing, not a character-based thing. Because again, we don't know. We don't know. But we will know shortly. And this is we can assume this is likely to be a GMS exclusive, since, I mean, generally speaking, if a GMS exclusive isn't... Well, okay. What do I want to say? A GMS exclusive typically is first revealed in GMS, right? And this doesn't exist in any other version of the game. Not in Korea, CMS, TMS, JMS, whatever. None of the other versions have this. So that's why we can postulate this is likely a GMS exclusive thing. And we can kind of see here, people are never doubting the theorists again, of course, that's a good one. Anyone have any info on the Shinestone Erda Link thing at the end? That's what I'm saying. There was some good discussion here. VA sounds like it's Lily Pichu. It doesn't really. But I can understand how people might think so. Lily confirmed it wasn't here. Nice. I'm glad. I didn't think it was. Where is the post that was talking about the Erda Link? I don't know. Maybe I'm just lost in the sauce and I can't find it. But the Erda Link thing is... I mean, everything in the patch is really good, right? I'm super excited for it. And the Erda Link thing, man, it could be really good. It could be really, really prohibitive. I don't know. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful, man. Go West. I'm super excited. Oh, is this the thread? Yes, this is the thread. This is the thread where they were talking about the Erda Link stuff. More skill trees, another progression system. I mean, this is really good, though, to be fucking completely fair with you. We need more damage, especially in Heroic. So if this is sort of like the GMS exclusive to try to, like, fix, quote-unquote, Heroic, since we're missing, like, B-Pot and a bunch of damage sources, this might be an interesting thing. It could also be for interactive and reboot. There's nothing saying that it's one for one or the other, but this could be like the GMS exclusive thing that sort of tries to fix the issue. And I think more damage is always better. But it's just the fragment thing is what I'm concerned about. It says 2 fragments to activate the stone. This is true, which is 2 fragments is nothing, but we can expect the cost to scale exponentially, right? It's never a linear thing with this game. It's always exponential past a certain point. So I don't know. As long as like people can interact and interface with the system to some degree, even if they're not like a Giga Warlord grinder, 7 wops every 2 seconds type shit, I'm okay with it, you know? It doesn't have to be max outable for most people, but I think letting people access the system and like get meaningful things from it without needing to be like a Giga sweater is a good thing, just in general speaking. GMS exclusive progression system they're going to add in as a fragment, maybe Soul Erda Sync based on the name. I would assume it's a system that benefits all characters on the world that are in 6th job. My fragments are already sunk. Yeah, I think this is the sentiment for a lot of people, but I do think a fragment and Soul Erda Sync is really good. Again, I just think there's a fine line between making it accessible to people who don't just play the game a lot or have played the game for a very long time and have like a system done, and making it accessible for like newer players as well. Obviously, you shouldn't be able to max... Well, I mean, if you really wanted to max it out, I'm sure you could as a newer player, but you shouldn't feel like you have to get any benefit out of a system, right? That's kind of what I mean. And in addition, with like the Legion Champion system coming up, I think it would be very, very strange to have 2 systems that really only like the endgame players can interface with at all. I don't know. I think Erda Link, I'm excited for it, but cautiously so. And I would like it to be all characters on the account, or all characters that are 6th job. But again, we don't know for sure. I would assume it would be like that. Hopefully the solution to the reboot final damage problem. Yeah, that's kind of what I was mentioning. Is it time to add new sources of soul fragments? Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying as well. Eventually, I think it's gonna be like node stones are for 5th job now. Eventually, I don't think we're there quite yet, but I think we're inching closer to it. Buff hero. And then this is always true. Stop, I have no fragments. My inventory full of Soul Erda and energy. We can make more stonks. I have a feeling since it calls Soul Erda and Fragments is a progression system for those who have maxed out their 6th job. Yeah, see, I think a lot of people feel this way. I just hope it's not necessarily like that. Anyways, I've been yapping for a while. 14 minutes already. I think I'll just call this for this week. But let me know what you guys think as always. I think Sia Astelle is super exciting, and I'm definitely going to make one. I'm very excited to make one. And the Erda Link thing, I think, no matter what, more ways to get damage is good. I just hope it's more accessible than not accessible, because I think accessibility is a very important thing. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts as always. Like I said, like the video if you like it, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure to stay safe. I don't know. Know that you're loved, you know? Thank you to my YouTube members. It's Business Remix My Life. I'm Nufu. Inder. Diz. I'm outie. Bye.